In today's video, I'm excited to introduce the dual condenser fans for Discovery 2. If you're crawling up a steep trail on a hot day, the condenser fans are the only source of fresh air, not just for the condenser, but for the engine cooling radiator too. With our kit, we replaced a single condenser fan with two that are individually more powerful than that single fan was. This is a great bang for the buck upgrade because the benefits are huge. Not only does your AC work better and blow colder, but your engine temperatures are going to improve as well. Whether you have an upgraded fan clutch, an inline thermostat, or neither of those things, you will notice the benefits after installing this kit. At the same time, we are also introducing an ultra high performance dual electric fan upgrade for the stock Rover radiator. We will go over that in a separate video, but that's available today on the website. With both of those combined, you have 4 high-performance electric fans blasting air into the engine bay, and the benefits are clear. I've been hard-pressed to get my engine temperatures above 200 degrees when crawling up a trail off-road on a 95-degree day. And that's what I set out to accomplish. Here's a fun fact. I recently got a Range Rover Classic, and the first thing I noticed, it has dual condenser fans in the front from the factory. So let's get right into our kit. Let me show you what it includes. So here's all that's included in the kit. 2 fans with beefy upgraded motors, 2 clips to clip the fans together, a sealed relay, inline fuse, and some bracketry to mount the fans with. And there should be some crimp connectors with integrated shrink tubing. I really like these because of the integrated shrink tubing. You just need the correct crimper. Sorry, not included. If you want to use these, of course you can use whatever you want, but these are my favorite type, and I will include them in the kit. So you'll have to remove your front grille, which is slightly different depending on whether your vehicle is facelift or not. For facelift vehicles, it's actually a little bit easier. Just pull it up. So, first order of business, let's remove that old condenser fan. Start by unplugging it. You gotta lift the tab to unplug it. And then it is held on by 4 8mm bolts. So 3 of the bolts are pretty easy to get to. However, the one on the upper right is a little bit obstructed by this plastic thing, which you could just remove temporarily, but it's riveted in, so that's a bit hard. I think I got the fan unbolted, but it is still jammed in there behind that plastic thing, so I'm gonna have no choice but to drill out the rivets, and then I'll bolt it back up with just regular nuts and bolts. There we go. Oh, it's riveted at the front too. We don't need that. Cool. Oh my god. That's crazy. And there's a rivet up here. Don't need that either. Kind of overkill, right? I feel like the 2 that were up here is enough. It's totally overkill. Oh my god, there we go. Now let's pull the fan out. And it's a bit difficult with these 2 bars in the way. Just gotta take these 2 bolts out. With those rusty bolts removed, you can turn the bars like that, and now the fan should have room to come out somehow. There we go. So to install, you're going to want to remove both of the support bars, the top one and the bottom one. So you have to remove one bolt here. This one just has to be loosened because the bars have just a slot like that. Same with the top. You got to remove that top left one and the top right just needs to be loosened. It's kind of hard to get to, but the condenser is mounted on rubber, so you can kind of push it a little bit and get to that bolt. Okay, to install the fans, we're going to start with the bottom bracket with the slot on the right. That one just slides in the screw that is there, and then you can use the original screw or the new one that we included for you, and mount to this side of the rail over there, and tighten with a 10mm. Okay, it's the same deal with the top rail. It should go in like this, and I recommend leaving the screw up there because if you need to replace the bolt that's up there, it's pretty finicky. But if you just leave the one that was already there, then it's pretty easy. And with the 10mm, boom. Back to the fans for a sec. We're going to join them together using the provided clips. You can tap them in with a hammer if that's necessary. It shouldn't be too bad. All right. Now I'm going to take this 2-fan assembly and sneak it in here like that, bottom in first. We're going to squeeze to the left, try to get past these hoses, and this fan should sit right up against that dryer. I think that's what that is, and make sure everything's clearing and the fans are up against the condenser, and they should be sitting on top of the bottom bar, just kind of sitting there for now. Okay, now with the fans roughly in place, so they are going to be held with 4 of these clips and the bolt. So you put the clip, insert it in the fan mounting thing there, and then you put a screw up there, right, and get it threaded in by hand. Maybe don't fully tighten everything yet. Okay. Same thing on this side. This is where removing the plastic thing here helps because it'll be in the way. Now same on the bottom rail. Okay. Okay, with all 4 clips in place, there's a bit of wiggle room for the fans, so you can position them correctly. Make sure that it's not snagged on this corner. Make sure it's flat against the condenser. And once it looks good, go ahead and tighten those 4 bolts we just put in. Sometimes you just have to use a little wrench. Okay, so the fans should be solid now. Now we've got this thing, which is for mounting the temperature sensor. So this plus a bolt, and there should be a little mounting point down over here. With the bolt goes into that final mounting point down in the corner. I'll show you in a sec. Like that, see? And then you just clip on this temperature sensor. Like that. And now you're welcome to zip tie this harness back to the rail the way it was originally. Okay, so now we get into wiring. So we got our fans set up as pushers. Again, you'll notice the red wire is hooked up to the black wire on the fan, and that is intentional to set up the fans as pushers. So we're going to wire these with 1 relay and it'll trigger both fans when the condenser fan is supposed to come on. So the first step is I like to figure out where to mount the relay. I decided I could hook it up to one of the motor screws right there. So if you have the yellow wire in the middle, you can ignore that. There's really 4 wires you have to worry about. This red and the blue. So the red goes to the battery, blue goes to fans. And then the black and white are the trigger wires, and those go to the black and brown wires on the condenser plug from before. So we'll go black to black and white to brown on here. So when the condenser fan is supposed to turn on, it'll trigger this relay and it'll bridge the switch between the blue and red wires and turn on the fans. So that means we'll wire the 2 red wires from the fans to this blue wire. And then the 2 black wires that go to the fans, those just need to go to a chassis ground. Any chassis ground will do fine. Alright, let's take care of the fan wires first. So I'll strip a little bit off the blue. These are heat shrink crimp butt splices. I really like these because you crimp them on and then they also act as a heat shrink tubing after the fact. Alright, fan grounds getting crimped. There we go. And those just need to be hooked up again just to a chassis ground, which could just be, you know, any screw or whatever you see fit. You can mount this to any screw you find. It's just that mine are also rusty. I think instead I'm just gonna put a self-tapper into here and call it good. Okay, that's the fans. Now, let's wire the trigger wires. That's this black and white ones. And we're going to hook those up to the condenser plug. So we're going to cut the condenser fan plug off. Okay. So one of these wires is black, the other one is black and brown. We're going to go black to black, and then the black brown will go to white. Okay, that's the trigger wires hooked up. Now there's only one wire left, the red one to the battery. And like I said earlier, if you have a yellow wire, ignore it. But you probably won't have it. You have an inline fuse holder, make sure you install a fuse provided into the fuse holder. I think this fuse holder will be enough length to reach the battery. So we're just going to crimp on this fuse holder, and on the other end of the fuse holder we'll put in a battery ring terminal. Okay, and let's run that wire up there. Oh, a little tight fit with the fuse holder there. I should have maybe run the wire the other way. Okay, still got it through. While we're here, before I do that, let's shrink all of our splices with the heat gun. Now we're going to make our final connection. We're going to put a ring terminal on this wire to the battery. Alright, good. That needs to be shrinked as well. Okay. And now there's nothing left to do except put a few finishing touches. It's always a good idea to protect any positive cable with some wire loom. And for down here, the only finishing touches would be to zip tie all of our wires out of the way. I'm going to make a loop around that lower bar, for example. Once again, I'm going to loom any positive wires. Ground wires, you don't really have to loom. Cool, everything's pretty good, tucked away. Now, gotta put the grill back on. And these things. Cool. Now with everything wired up, I want to test the fans. I'm going to turn the car on. And for these fans to come on, I gotta turn the AC on full blast. And it needs to be warm enough. If your ambient temperature is not above 25 Celsius, I think it is, this temperature sensor won't activate and it won't turn on the fans. So you can just use a hairdryer to blow on this and that should get them to kick on, right? So the fans are working beautifully now. If you put your hand on the other side of the condenser, you should feel the airflow of all the air that these fans are pushing in. I'm gonna put these back on. I'm gonna put this back. It used to be riveted in like 4 different spots, but I just use 2 bolts here and it's plenty strong enough for this. Put the grill back on. So that's it. A simple upgrade, and now I'm going to enjoy a colder AC and much colder engine temperatures. You will find this kit, as well as our radiator fan upgrade, and plenty of other goodies at goldenrovers.com. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.